Hello, and welcome to another episode in the Georgia Workers' Compensation video series. My name is Jason Perkins. I'm an attorney who specializes in handling Georgia workers' compensation cases. I created this series of videos to provide people who've been hurt at work in Georgia with helpful information about Georgia's workers' compensation laws and the benefits they should receive under those laws. Now, let's jump straight into today's topic. The topic for today's video is workers' compensation insurance company attorneys. Now, there are two primary types of attorneys in workers' compensation claims. The first is attorneys who represent people who've been injured on the job. That's what I do. When people suffer on the job injuries, they often need help receiving the workers' compensation benefits they should. Why is this? Because insurance companies are businesses. Because of that, they generally want to pay as little as possible in your workers' compensation case. So they're often going to deny or delay the workers' compensation benefits you should receive. Because of this, many people who suffer serious injuries at work choose to reach out to an attorney and get that attorney to help out with their Georgia workers' compensation claim. This can be helpful in receiving the benefits that you should, especially if that attorney specializes in Georgia workers' compensation law. Now, in order to hire an attorney to represent you in a workers' compensation case, you're going to need to sign a contract hiring the attorney. Sometimes this contract is done in writing. Well, it's always written, but sometimes it's actually in physical writing form, or often now the contract may be signed electronically in your email. And when you hire an attorney to represent you in a workers' compensation case, you may also need to sign other documents, such as a medical authorization and other things that the attorney may need in order to most effectively represent you. Now, when you hire an attorney to represent you in a workers' compensation case, how is the attorney paid? In most Georgia workers' compensation cases, the attorney works on a contingency fee. That means that you don't pay the attorney by the hour and you don't pay him money up front. Ultimately, you only pay them if they are successful in getting certain workers' compensation benefits for you, and you pay them a percentage of those benefits. And the percentage of those benefits is usually 25%. That's a standard contingency fee agreement in a Georgia workers' compensation case. The other type of attorney you may run into in workers' compensation is an attorney that represents employers or insurance companies, or both. Now, if you are hurt on the job and file a workers' compensation claim, that workers' compensation claim is against your employer and their workers' compensation insurance company. The employer and insurance company may choose to get an attorney involved to help them in the workers' compensation case. There's two ways that this primarily can happen. The first is when you don't really know about it at all. And what this is that the employer insurance company may consult with an attorney about your case or other cases without actually hiring the attorney to represent them in their case. So they have conversations with the attorney, they may seek advice, but there's no actual paperwork filed in your case indicating the attorney has been hired to represent them in your case. Now, the second situation that comes about is when the workers' compensation insurance company and employer actually hire the attorney to represent them in your workers' compensation case. If this is done, there should be paperwork filed with the State Board of Workers' Compensation called the Notice of Representation, indicating that the attorney has been hired to represent the employer and insurance company in your workers' compensation case. Now, after this paperwork is filed, the attorney may reach out to you to try to discuss the case with you. Now, many people have concerns about this when it happens, and they should. You should be careful. If an attorney's hired to represent the insurance company and they're talking with you, that attorney's seeking what's best for the insurance company. They're trying to represent their interest. And usually your interests are directly adverse to the insurance company's interest. So what would be beneficial to them is generally not beneficial to you. So you just need to be careful in conversations you have with the attorney, because things that you say may end up potentially being used against you later. And this can be the case even if the insurance company does not hire an attorney to represent them. Even if you're dealing with an insurance adjuster or a case manager who works for the insurance company, what you talk to them about may ultimately potentially be used against you. So just be aware whenever you're having conversations with them that you need to be careful what you discuss. Now, if you've hired an attorney to represent you in your workers' compensation case, then the insurance company or their attorney should not be having conversations directly with you. If you have an attorney representing you in your case, then the insurance company's attorney or the insurance adjuster should be talking with your attorney and not directly with you. I hope you found the information in this video helpful. If you have, please consider two things before you go. First, I really appreciate if you give this video a like or a thumbs up, and consider subscribing to this channel if you'd like to be notified of future videos in the Georgia Workers' Compensation video series. Second, if you've got workers' compensation questions, please reach out to get answers. I offer free consultations in Georgia workers' compensation cases. If you'd like to set one of those up, there's two easy ways you can do so. The first is by calling the phone number at the bottom of the screen, and the other is by reaching out to us to our website, which is www.perkinslawtalk.com. Just click on and submit the pre-consultation request form there, and a member of our team will reach out to you and get a consultation scheduled. I'd like to thank you again for watching this video today. I'd like to wish you the best of luck as you recover from your injuries.